Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Versus System 2PCG Quarantine Cup Top 4. This is the last two that are going towards the finals. The winner of this will take on the Captain Marvel MCU build that won on Tuesday. My name is Mark. I'm with Upper Deck, and as always, I'm with C Stacks, the creator of the Quarantine Cup. Hey, Stacks, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on again. Very exciting stuff here. Final match of the top four before we head into the finals.
And it's been a busy week for you and I. This is actually the third day in a row that we've gotten together on Twitch to talk about Versus.
Yeah, that's right. It's been a really exciting week with Quarantine Cup stuff, the release of Fantastic Battles, and the preview we did for that, which was a blast yesterday. Yeah, it's been really busy and it's been really exciting.
Been super exciting. For those of you that are just joining us, our Twitch streams are exclusive for the first 24 hours. So you want to make sure that you follow us right here on Twitch. After that, we will be putting our content out to other platforms like YouTube and Facebook. But you want to make sure that you follow us on here because we will announce new stuff right here on Twitch before anywhere else. And we've actually got something lined up for later in this stream. So make sure you're right here when the games are done. We do have some housekeeping though. So like I said, our Twitch streams are exclusive for the first 24 hours. Um, Give us a follow to make sure that you're got yourself covered whenever new stuff comes out. You can also, if you have a Amazon Prime account, you can link that to your Twitch account, and you get a free subscription to a stream of your choice. So make sure you're following us there. Also, make sure you give us a follow and subscribe to our YouTube channels in case you miss our Twitch streams. You can actually type into the chat exclamation point YouTube, and that will take you to a link directly to our YouTube channel. Also, if you follow us on Facebook, you can type in exclamation point VS, exclamation point versus, and that will take you directly to our Facebook channel. For those of you that have been following us on the Upper Deck blog, as Stax mentioned before with the Fantastic Battles, we've been doing a full set of previews for the last couple of weeks on our blog. That's upperdeckblog.com. That's where we have all of our card previews and any information on our featured formats. Each of those card previews are written by Super Awesome Games. That's Danny and Ben. So they put everything together, make sure all the information's out there, that those questions are answered as people come across those cards. Also, we've got some new card accessories that are coming out, a brand new line that we've started releasing this month, last month rather. I'm sorry, last month. David on the right hand side there has got one of our brand new Spider-Man playmats. Along with that, we also had Spider-Man sleeves. This month, actually yesterday, we just released the Thanos playmat and sleeves. And then next month, we've got Wolverine playmat and sleeves. These are all limited edition. So once these images are sold out, they will never be seen again. And we've got more content, more sleeves coming out later this year, including Black Widow, Black Panther, and Camilla Khan's Ms. Marvel. So make sure you keep an eye on our web store, which is upperdeckstore.com, or ask for it at your local retailer. So this is the Quarantine Cup top four. We've got Skirk running Spider Woman and Dave running Spider-Man MCU. Some of you have may seen Dave run this deck last week in order to work his way into the top four. So it'll be exciting again to see him up against another competitor. So just in case people don't know what the Quarantine Cup is, Stax is actually the creator of this. So Stax, why don't you give everybody a little rundown on what the Quarantine Cup's all about?
Yeah, Quarantine Cup is an online tournament we've been running via video chat over the last couple of months here. We The big draw of the Quarantine Cup, I feel, is the multiple formats we've been doing. So we did 6 rounds of Swiss over 3 formats. We did the Cosmic Power format. We did the For Fox's Sake format, which is all Fox properties, no Marvel cards, and then we did the Female Fight Night, which is all lady characters format. And then here in top 8, we are doing the current featured format from Upper Deck, which is of course the Good versus Evil your deck has to be either all good characters or all evil characters. It's been a blast. People have been able to, play competitors from all over the country, all over the world, and it's just been a really cool online event that we've been running. It's been going pretty well.
Yeah, it's been a real blast to watch some of these decks come out. Some incredible games have come across these in the last couple of weeks. So once we're done with this stream, head over to YouTube and check those out because some of those are super close games, super exciting.
Yeah, the games we've seen in Top Cut so far have been just like nail biting, really close games. Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, coming down to almost the last wound on some. Okay, so let's get these two up and running, and let's see what these decks are.
Yeah, let's do it.
Guys, you guys are ready to go. Good luck to both of you, and we'll talk to you afterwards. All right, Stack. So you've got the deck list for both these lists. Why don't you tell us what we can expect out of Skirk's?
Yeah, so I just heard him talk. I got his list right here, and I heard him talking before the game here about how his deck is really proactive and really aggressive. He doesn't have much on the defensive, but he's trying to just be really efficient with the getting in there every turn, putting a wound on your main character every turn, leveling up his Spider Woman as fast as possible, and just being really aggressive. So I think we're going to see a lot of some counter generation, a lot of trying to buff up Spider Woman as much as he can, and get in there for those clean attacks. And if he can, he's going to try to do 5 wounds in 5 turns if David's going to allow that to happen.
And in case somebody hasn't seen Dave's deck from the last time, what's his?
Yeah, so this MCU Spider-Man deck, it's super, super location heavy. I think it's something like 22, 24 locations in this deck. So he's trying to make sure that he doesn't miss a climb and he gets that level up. He's probably going to take a beating early on when he's at level 1, but once Spider-Man flips to level 2, he just has so much going for him. Everything on that level 2 Spider-Man is great. So I think he's just going to try to stay in there. If he can open with May Parker on turn 1, then he can go aggressive, which will be really good for him to be able to keep up with Spider Woman. But if not, he's just going to take a couple wounds early, and then when he flips, he's going to try to get those out of combat strikes, get those counters, get those free draws, all the amazing things that Spider Man can do when he's at level 2.
All right, looks like Skirks has already started dropping down queens and then passing. Shout out to Buildface. Thank you very much for the subscription. Also, he had a question about when you guys are going to start seeing the Black Widow and Ms. Marvel stuff. We will have that later in the month as they go out to solicitations towards store.
I'm especially excited for the Black Widow ones. I bet those are going to be sweet.
Yeah, it's actually just going to be sleeves. They will not be mats for those.
Oh, okay. The sleeves are what I'm most excited for anyway. So it looks like Skirk swung in on turn 1 and was met with a "you're the last one" for the cancel. So no XP for Skirk on turn 1.
Yeah, you actually had a chance to play with the Thanos sleeves yesterday.
Yeah, these sleeves are actually super, super nice. I know people have probably played with art sleeves in the past that weren't so great. That they're prone to splitting, but I was surprised by like these Thanos sleeves are they're really thick, really sturdy. They're great to shuffle. They're a matte finish, so they look good on camera. They're like a home run, and I'm gonna have to go back and get the Spider-Man sleeves. And these sleeves are actually like really nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, chat. We've got ourselves a poll of who you think is going to win. Use exclamation point vote either David or Skirk, and let us know who you think is going to take the first. So it looks like both players have been going dropping location or yeah, dropping locations, but not doing much.
Yeah, no characters, no May Parker from David there, and no Madam Web from Skirk, which is what obviously Spider Woman really wants to see on turn 1. Looks like Spider Woman got in there for the trade though, for in the 1 XP. So we're at a wound apiece right now. But both these decks have healing capabilities. Obviously, Spider Woman has the newly released Queen's special location, which is an incredible card that allows your Spider Friend main character to heal wounds. And then the MCU Spider-Man deck is packing Dana Scully from the X Files set, which will allow him to heal on that side. So we could see these decks go into the late game for sure.
I will
Looks like we got Elsa Bloodstone.
move to main phase. Great power.
She's from
And
the Monsters
great
Unleashed
power
set.
and great responsibility for the counters.
Might makes right.
Ooh, and a might makes right with the green to put 4+1/+1 counters onto Elsa Bloodstone. I didn't hear which powers he called, but usually it's fearless and lethal, which is obviously that
We'll go
fearless
ahead and swing into
is going to be
Spider-Man.
great with those counters
I
on
will
there.
pass priority.
I will pass priority as well.
And
Okay,
he's
two
taking a swing at
experience.
Spider.
Pass.
And it goes to 2.
Draw on 2.
Probably hoping to see a something like another You're the Last One there. These are both good characters, so a friend from work will get you the cancel.
Radiance.
It didn't look like he had them though. I think you definitely want to use those to try to keep Spider-Woman off XP if you can, but she just needs one more to flip into her level 2.
I do remember last time we saw David play this deck, he got real lucky with the May Parker early drop, which boosts his Spider-Man up pretty heavy.
Yeah, if you can get that
Bifrost.
turn 1 May
Oh,
Parker,
Bifrost
you
is
can go really
so
aggressive.
annoying.
Normally, I think MCU Spider-Man starts
Such a
off
good
a little
card. I love it.
passive, gets that level up locked in, and then he gets in there with
I
all
would
his
love the
level 2 powers. But if
Bifrost
you can open with May
in
Parker,
vanilla
I think you just go for it because she's such a good aggressive card for pumping up your Spider-Man. See our third location. Will we see a character this time?
Yeah, he dropped Bifrost down for his third location.
So I'm gonna play Maria Hill.
Yeah.
And Maria.
Maria Hill will be a 6/6 stealth this
I don't
turn.
need to put them
Elsa
back
Bloodstone is at
because
7
you can get
defense currently,
anywhere.
though. If he has some kind of a power up or something, he could
Climb
maybe
the
get at
Bifrost.
Elsa, which would be a pretty good trade for
They go
Maria
outer
Hill, I
space to
think.
get that climb.
Although Elsa Bloodstone has 2 wounds, I believe,
Or,
but at least you get rid of
what
those
was it,
counters.
Missouri or whatever, where it initially came?
And Spider-Man climbs all the way out to
Maria
outer
Hill
space to
into
grab
Elsa
that Bifrost.
Bloodstone. And Sokovia Forest.
Ooh, okay,
And a
swinging in
Sokovia
with
Chord.
a Sokovia Chords. That's one of only 2 copies of Sokovia Chords that David is playing in his deck.
I forgot to put the count on him. I
Gets
did
you out of some
climb.
real
I forgot to
jams
put
and
the
some
count on him.
matchups for sure.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll pass
Yeah, so
turn.
it goes in
Okay.
to get the counters off of Elsa Bloodstone,
Drop 2.
as opposed to the Spider-Woman there.
And she will retain the 2 powers that he chose for Elsa Bloodstone until she leaves.
JJ.
Yep, that's
Okay.
right. Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones, fan favorite.
As far as underdropping, you can do a lot worse than Jessica Jones. She's a good 3-drop. She's a good 4-drop. She's a good 5-drop. Just an all-around great card.
Maria Hill.
So Spider-Woman's going in. Let's see who she's taking aim at.
That's good.
Okay, level up.
Maria Hill.
She will flip to her level 2.
We'll just put him next to her right now.
Okay.
And Skirt's got himself a
Well, you know what they do.
fancy
We don't need
acrylic
to-
level 2.
We know what the card does.
Yeah, it's my favorite of the acrylic promos. I really like the artwork on the
Elsa
acrylic
into
Spider-Woman
Spider-Man.
promo.
Those can be
Enough
found
for
in the
that
organized
either.
play kits that stores can purchase through their distribution.
I'll pass turn.
So that's
Draw
a 9/8, a 9/8 level 2 Spider-Woman. So it's looking good for Skirk at this point. Although we will see MCU Spider-Man flip to his level 2 this turn, so the game
Yeah, that
could
was one
change.
thing. That was one thing that David stumbled on in one of the games last week, is trying to remember to climb every time. He needs to hit it every single time.
Yeah, he forgot to climb once last week, and it almost cost him the game. He managed to pull it out, but one thing about making a play like that is it sticks in your head for the rest of the game. You gotta keep your composure. So let's see if he hopefully he'll remember to get that climb and secure that level up this turn.
Well, he does drop a fourth location, so he should be able to do it.
Dana Scully.
Yep.
He
Dana Scully. He's showing the X-Files to pay for the heal.
Gotta keep
She lines up pretty well to put a wound on Jessica
keep
Jones if she needs to.
there.
for the stubborn dork
Yep.
in chat, yes, the Captain Marvel organized play kit is still available. Just ask your local store for them.
Spider-Man flips. He is a 6'6" with that +1 counter will make him a 7'7". He'll be able to get some real value next turn.
So good.
He will get
And then so if
his
you're able to protect,
Far From
and then
Home
heal
triggers
again,
when you play
and
location.
then if you have another Scully in hand, just erase all my wounds like that. Oh man.
And it looks like we did play that. He did pay that X-Files to heal a
value.
wound from Spider-Man to go to 2.
How big are you?
3'5".
And Dana Scully is going to attempt to put a wound on
Yeah, show wound.
Jessica
will
Jones,
not tough.
and she hits.
Okay.
And he's decided not to tough out for Jessica Jones.
And I had to pass turn.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. I don't think you need to tough at this point. You're just asking for Spider-Man to put another wound on him. Yep, because no more attacks from David. So
What did I draw?
so right now with those counters on Spider-Woman,
So I saw this
Spider-Man cannot
yesterday, and they
match
were
her right now.
flipping, when Stax and Ben were playing, they were flipping their locations like that. And I really
But
thought that
of
was a
course,
cool
depending
idea, but then
on
I was
what
like,
locations
I'm gonna
are
shuffle
in
them
David's
upside
hand, he
down
can
and get pissed.
really start to turn it around next
Right.
turn with that Far From Home power on
Alright.
Spider-Man.
We are going to play Spider-Man 2099.
You got a Spider-Man
We are then
2099.
going to formation. Because
Jessica
she
Just
should
gonna
Jones
start
goes
drop
to
playing
Jessica
her
Jones into the back row.
Okay, interesting.
I will.
Let's see if he remembers his climb with 2099 there to take him from a 5'5" to a 6'6".
Then move to main phase. We will climb Queen.
And he does remember the climb.
Oh, sorry, he goes from a 6'6" to a 7'7" rather.
Spider-Man sitting
climb.
at 7. Spider-Woman into Spider-Man passing priority.
Okay.
Spider-Woman into
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
for that.
Okay.
And Spider-Man's going to take another wound.
Take it.
Spider-Man
Pretty smart to go after Spider-Man
Yeah,
first before
I
the
can
Dana
see
Scully
that
so that
would
you
be good as
can
well.
potentially dodge the you're the last one.
Pass turn.
Yeah, Spider-Man 29 takes out Dana Scully.
All right. Let's see what level 2 Spider-Man can do now with his Far From Home power.
For those of you who just joined us in chat, this is the Quarantine Cup Top 4. This is the second of 2 matchups for this week. The winner of this will take on Captain Marvel, the MCU build that won earlier this week. This is the first of possible 3 games. It is the best 2 of 3.
Yep.
He's had negative counters to Spider.
Yep, that's pretty good right now. Trying to bring her down to size. So played a laboratory, which will put 3 minus 1 counters on an enemy character. So those 2 +1s turn into 1 -1 really quick. So brings Spider-Woman down to a 6'5". Much more manageable.
We're gonna play Buffy.
And
Yeah,
Buffy.
And here comes the
you're
Slayer.
one short though.
Oh, you know.
She's got her 3 wounds.
she
She
gotta
can
be
get
out here
big, but her
eventually,
Slayer
so-
isn't going to do much in this matchup because both of these decks feature all good characters.
Let me draw my JJ. That's all. Wait, I don't even know if he's in the deck anymore. I don't think he
Looks
is.
Looks like the
our,
chat's really root for David here.
Yeah. Well, watching him, the matchup he had earlier, or last week rather, was impressive to see. So hopefully he can.
Yeah. So climbing.
Yep.
David's going to climb.
Well, sorry, paragliding.
Yep, really important that he doesn't miss that
Yeah,
paragliding
same,
right
same.
there,
Climb.
so that he can potentially tussle with
Buffy as
these
Spider-Woman.
bigger characters that are on Skirk's board here.
He's going Buffy into Spider Woman. Skirk's just looking to see if he's got anything to answer that.
The only defense he has in his deck are, I think he's got 3 shock to the system, and he's got calls in his
Yeah, I'll
deck for
take
the
the wound.
power-ups. But it looks like he's just going to take it instead.
He's just going to take that wound. That brings her up to 2, and Spider-Man has got himself 3 wounds.
Spider-Man as Spider-Man.
Looks like Spider-Man is going to try to take on that 2099 there.
Yes, he is.
We will shock.
Power-up will cancel it. Ooh, a shock to the system, though. Okay.
I have nothing for that, so I will get wounded.
So, yikes.
Oh yeah, she should have got wounded as well.
Spider-Man's going to take that hit back
I
and
was
go
only hitting for
to
6
4
because of the -1,
She's a
-1.
5/5. She's a 5/5.
Oh,
out
she's
of
a
5.
5/5?
He's showing an
Yeah.
X-File, so he can
Sorry,
still
I
has the
thought
opportunity to
5/8.
heal next turn if
I
he's
was
holding a
thinking
Dana
of
Scully.
all different ways of. All right, well, how am I going to leave?
Yeah, he's down to his last wound, so hopefully he's got
Okay.
something he can answer
Wow.
for. But luckily, by turning face down,
Draw 1.
he can't take another wound this.
Yep, safe for now, at least.
So I'm going to start stacking them a little bit.
Okay.
Save some room. But currently on 6.
So while Skirks is trying to figure out what he wants to do, he wants to tell everybody when you cut to the top 8, what kind of main characters made it?
Yeah, so when we cut the top 8, we switched over to the good versus evil format. A lot of people expected to see a lot of Outriders in the top 8, but that was not the case. We got, out of our 8
All right,
submissions
we're gonna play
for
Firestar.
top 8,
Okay.
we have 7 different main characters.
We're gonna move to
We had
main.
2 Dark Phoenix, we have a Spider-Woman,
Alright,
we
I'm going to
had
go ahead and use it
a
right now.
Spider-Man MCU, obviously. We had
Queens.
the Mantle Hulk from the Champions team. We had MCU Captain Marvel. We had Black Cat, which is a favorite of Bert's, and we had Adam Warlock. So a lot of good characters and a few evil characters, but a really good variety in this
Just for the record,
top
you know
cut
you
with
missed
the
the
good versus
climb,
evil
right?
format. So it's been a lot of fun to
Queens is
see
a
all
build
these
phase.
decks that people are
The
playing.
Bill face got you, okay.
Yeah. That's why I had to choose to do it right now.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
see,
really
that's another
impressive to
part. I
see
haven't seen
the
enough to know it.
breakdown of all those MCs. A lot of
No worries.
diversity.
Yeah,
I'm
for sure. It's been
actually
really
thinking
cool.
about
So
formation right
the
now.
brand new Firestar comes out.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
We're gonna go ahead and formation her in the back.
Okay.
Move to main phase.
Okay.
Pulling back
We're gonna go
Spider
ahead.
Woman.
Might makes right.
Who managed to heal a wound with the Queens there. And another Might Makes Right.
Firestar.
This time putting 4+1 counters onto Firestar,
Yeah, I did.
which is a great target for that card.
So David earlier mentioned to Skirks about not missing a climb, and Skirks informed him that he hadn't got to that part yet, and then he moved forward to the next phase and missed the climb.
Yeah. Yeah, so Spider-Man 29 is going to stay 7/7 because he missed the climb. It was bound to happen in a matchup of 2 Spider decks. I think it was bound to happen at least once.
That's something you'll never forget once you do it.
So we're gonna.
So no attacks from Skirk,
gonna
obviously,
strike
because
Spider-Woman.
David's board was all face down. So we see a training ground now, which will allow his Spider-Man to strike without making an attack, which is very, very strong. So that's just going to put that second wound on Spider-Woman. Very clean play there. Always good to put those out-of-combat stuns on.
Yeah, that new Spider-Man has abilities that whenever a certain location shows up, he gets different effects.
Yeah,
this
Academy.
was recently.
I was just going to break it down. What were you saying?
No, go for it.
It's Academy draws you 2 cards. Fortress puts 3+1 counters on Spider-Man. A Lab puts 3-1s on an enemy character. A Training Ground has him strike an enemy character, and an Avengers Tower can be any of those. So all really good abilities. and David is playing
Don,
like a full suite of all
Dana
those
Scully.
locations. So
Take a medical doctor on Buffy. I mean, first aid on Buffy.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
So he played Tony Stark, Dana Scully, and wow, I just blanked on her name.
Dawn out of the key pile.
Dawn, that's right. And then he used Dana Scully's healing ability on Buffy.
Yeah, so Dana Scully has that double heal that she can eventually trigger if you get the timing right.
One,
So
two,
when she
three, four,
appears, she can
five,
heal one
6.
off a character who has one wound. So Buffy took a wound last turn, so
Okay,
she
yeah,
gets
no
the
problem.
free
I'm mixing
heal
it anyway,
on
so
Buffy, and then you can also pay an X-Files location or an Earth rather to heal another wound from a character. So I think we're gonna get a lot of value out of Scully here with the one she healed off Buffy, and then I think you have to heal Spider-Man because he's only got one to give.
climbing,
Yep.
paragliding, whatever you want to call it today.
Yeah, he's paragliding. Make sure he doesn't forget that.
Medical doctor.
Yep, absolutely. And then there is the heal from good old Dana Scully.
I have to pass turn.
Putting everybody up front to protect your Spider-Man in the back. No attacks either.
And yeah, and Dave decides to pass.
Ooh. We see the 7-drop Ultimate Spider-Man come out, who will strike an additional time for each character he's protecting. Very, very strong card.
I lost you guys. Hold on. Okay, we're back.
Okay.
And it's interesting that he pulls up
Move to
Spider-Woman.
Okay.
Climb.
And
Remembers to
he's
climb
making
there.
sure he climbs this time with Spider-Man 29.
Pass time.
Well, great power, great responsibility.
Man.
Okay.
All right, so 2 counters onto Spider-Woman with the great power and great responsibility. And
All right.
Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, is
Elsa
currently
into
protecting
Dawn.
2 characters, so he will strike for a total of
That's
15
good.
once it's all said and done.
And he sends Elsa into Dawn.
Spider-Man into Scully. Or, yeah.
Ultimate Spider-Man is going
That's
into, looks like,
Scully.
Okay.
Scully.
We will go Spider-Man into Spider-Man.
And then 2099 into Spider-Man. He leaps over Tony
That's
Stark
good as
and
Okay.
Yep, and David goes to
How
4
big is
again.
Iron Man?
back down to
What?
4.
What?
1-3 for Tony Stark and 5-5 for Buffy.
Okay. We will go Spider-Woman into Tony Stark, holding priority. Activating my power.
Okay.
Guys.
And he
And
sends Spider-Woman
we'll
into
put a
Tony
wound
Stark.
on Buffy.
Uses the Venom Blast
That'll
there.
be good.
Not quite sure if that was necessary, but
Ship it back to you.
securing that stun there. Don't want the
Going to-
Genius to give David an extra card.
And just like that, David's board has been reduced back down.
Yeah, and Skirk's been making these attacks in the right order, I would say. He's always making sure he can get to Spider-Man early on so that he doesn't leave Spider-Man as the last character and get hit with that "you're the last one" to cancel the combat and end the turn. I think he's been very aware of that this game.
Yes, LCDO in chat. This is the first game, possibly up to 3 games we'll be playing. For these who just joining us, this is the Quarantine Cup Top 4. This is the second semifinal game. Between this matchup is between Skirk's Spider-Woman and David's Spider-Man. The winner of this will face the Captain Marvel.
Okay.
So a laboratory comes down on David's side, so he's going to put up 3 -1 counters again. See where they're going to go.
Something I probably should have just waited for. Okay.
Onto Spider-Woman again. Goes back
He's
down to
really-
a 6-5.
Really trying to keep Spider-Woman under control.
Yeah, that board though on Skirk's side is pretty out of control at this point, and only 2 wounds on Spider-Woman. Spider-Man's 4.
What's he do
So
again?
it's going to be tough here.
I get to the name
Fox
Fox
Mulder.
Mulder comes down.
Search the enemy deck in hand for each card with that removed from the game.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna Bifrost Jessica
And
Jones.
a Bifrost.
Well,
He's gonna Bifrost Jessica Jones.
I'm just gonna.
Ooh, okay,
I'm
yeah,
just gonna
because
focus on it.
you
Like,
want to get that
it doesn't
if he
matter.
wants to
We
play
know
that
she's gonna
Molder
be great.
power this turn, you gotta remove Jessica, who's gonna block that yellow ability.
I'm gonna
Mulder
climb,
goes up front to try to
paraglide.
protect
Yep.
Spider-Man, who will paraglide. And then let's see what Fox Mulder is gonna rip out of the deck there. He's gonna go investigating. What's he gonna find?
Yellow, and I'm gonna name that you have. Let's name Paul.
Call.
And he's
Alright, so I
decided
reveal my hand,
to
right?
call
Yeah,
out
you reveal
Call.
your hand, yes.
So I have the Days
None
web
in the
shooter
hand.
and Spider-Man 2099.
One of the specialized
I
web
take it from
shooters
my
in
deck?
there.
No, man, we're going to
He's
the next
playing
one.
the
Don't shoot
Days
it
web
here.
shooter and
I
the
just want to see what you
-2
have.
web shooter. And Dave is just gonna scoop it up.
And Dave has
I
just
didn't draw
decided
no
to
blue
scoop up.
cards.
He was curious to see what was
Yeah,
in
no
Skirk's
blue
hand,
cards.
and he was looking for
Also, the lack of
his blue.
you had the one early game.
So
comment
that
council,
is the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
of
and I was
possibly
like,
3
oh,
games.
he's saving it
Skirk's
just for late game.
Spider
Okay,
Woman
I
has
see what
taken
I'm
it
doing.
1-0
My plot twist, my blue
to
cards.
Dave's Spider-Man.
Oh,
They're going to go ahead and
yeah,
shuffle up
exactly.
and
Okay.
deal
Yeah,
out
that
the
was the whole
second one.
thing that I saw too. I was like, oh,
And while
he's
we
not
wait,
going aggressive with the
just
cancels.
shout
I
out to
might,
chat. Thank you
be able
very
to do
much all
something
for
here.
joining us this afternoon as we
So I had
watch the
that
second
in
of
my
the
opening hand,
Quarantine
and then
Cup
see another
semifinal matches. Again, the
You
winner of
had
this
2,
will
right?
take on
I had 2 right in my opening hand.
Robbie's Captain Marvel MCU, which
And now see
defeated
Sokovia
Bert's
core
Black
core
Cat
deck, right?
earlier this week.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Been having lots of fun, seeing lots of
I seen that in the
pretty
last
impressive
one. Them the only
close
2 blue
games
cards I
for
had.
the last couple of weeks.
And then I did see another one.
Yeah, that's that Black Cat Captain Marvel matchup was an incredible match. If you guys haven't seen it yet, you should go check it out.
I can take the Don out.
Yeah, we've got it on our YouTube. If you type !YouTube in chat, that'll actually give you a link to go over to our YouTube. You can check that out when we're done here.
Yeah. I figured.
If you give us a follow here on Twitch, you'll make sure that you don't miss any of the fun action we've got going on. Also, we've got later at the end of the stream, we're going to be revealing something that no one else has seen. So
Sorry,
make sure
I
you
thought I was
check out or
shuffling on
stay
screen.
tuned
My bad.
and check that out.
No problem.